Either you're gonna be a killer content creator or you're gonna be a killer advertising campaign creator. Which one do you wanna be? Choose your path and hopefully you can win at a high level in whatever path you choose. The ones that actually win at the content game can actually be quite mediocre in the advertising game and still get away with it and build a great business long term. The ones that actually win at the advertising game don't always win at the content game, but once they win at that game, then they'll do something great. Hey, this is Manuel Suarez with episode 24. And in this episode, we're gonna talk about direct response marketing versus content marketing. What's the difference between each one? What you should be doing yourself. Now, before I jump into this, I wanna give you some background data. Content marketing is not necessarily new. It's been around for a long time, but social media made it what it is today. A lot of personal brands have used their ability to communicate, to educate, to entertain, or to inspire, and they have gone to social media to generate audiences. And these audiences, they trust these personal brands. And because they trust these personal brands, when they create content and then they once in a while put out their videos to promote certain products and services, then they actually get a lot of people to opt in because they have credibility and they have authority. Direct response marketing is just coming up with a great concept, a great video, a great script for a great product and promoting it to their audiences and trying to make it profitable on the front end. Let's go back to the whiteboard. My roadmap is filled with content marketing. For example, myself, I have a company called Attention Grabbing Media. Most of our successful clients are in the content marketing game. Dr. Eric Berg, my father's personal brand, Frank Suarez, Dr. Blake Livingood, Tom Cummins, Brandon Dawson. These people that are personal brands that we help take their message to a whole different level. While they do that, they're able to come up with offers and products and services to be able to generate sales for themselves. This is a content marketing game plan. And it's very, very powerful because it has a lot of long-term value that becomes independent of advertising, meaning that advertising is something that you do if you want to grow, but advertising is not something that is required because you have a lot of people coming in and looking to buy your products and services. I have a company that with my seminars, webinars, content, stages that I've done for 8 years now. It helped me build a brand because now I have people that come in after seeing one of my seminars or watching one of my webinars or attending one of my conferences, whatever that may be, and say, I trust you. I believe in you because I saw you deliver a message. I see who you are and I want to be a part of your organization. And it's a whole different type of relationship than the direct response marketing. Let's go over a few examples and specifics. So content marketing, 4 particular areas of it. Number 1, valuable to people, meaning that they can get something from it to help them improve a particular aspect of their lives. It's pretty much the entirety of life. Some people have life coaching, some people have weight loss coaching, finances, gardening, computers, or how to be a better teacher. It's a pretty massive, large world of value, business, and then even all the different niches inside the world of business, they have a lot of direct value that somebody can give to you. And that's what they do in the content marketing game. Like there could be an influencer that the only thing that they do is they're building a personal brand around the subject of teaching people how to do email marketing. And there's plenty of those. Like in my case, I became the Facebook Ninja back in 2017. I actually even started creating a podcast called the Facebook Marketing Ninja. So in 2017, I went all in on the subject of Facebook. And I started teaching people Facebook. And because I taught it so well to people, it started building an audience. And I was able to create a course. And I called this course the Facebook Masters Course. And this course sold several thousand students in several $1 million of revenue of me digitally teaching people how to use Facebook for business. And I was able to deliver this course and generate a lot of sales because I focused on that particular message. I was teaching people how to do Facebook marketing. So one of my takeaways that I want to share with you here, that hopefully you see this for yourself, is that you have to be specific. The more specific you are about your value, the faster you can penetrate in a niche within that industry. If you go really broad, you have to be really darn good. The more general you want to be, the better you have to be at communicating and at capturing attention. There's many examples of that. Gary Vaynerchuk, for example. He doesn't talk about one business. Gary Vaynerchuk is a business guru, also known as a marketing guru, and he's somebody that has been very successful in the game of business. He's very general about the game of marketing and about the game of business. How is he able to get away with it? Because he's really darn good at communication, combined with the fact that he's actually very consistent. He's been doing this for maybe 15 years, nonstop. So you gotta keep that in mind. If you wanna be fast, you have to be specific. If you wanna talk about the subject of health, health is a massive subject. You better be very good. What makes Dr. Berg so good? Dr. Eric Berg, one of the most followed health experts in the world, my client for 7 years. Or more at this point. This is something that you might not know. Dr. Berg actually started creating content back in 2008. So this is like 16, 17 years ago. He started producing content on social media, on YouTube specifically, and it took him several years to really catch fire. So even people that are very gifted, that have this gift of communication, even them will take time to break through. So the content marketing game has several requirements, and hopefully by the time that I'm done explaining them, you'll be able to know if this is a game that you'll be able to master, or maybe it's not right for you, maybe it's not the best fit game for you. This is important. You gotta be self-aware. If you're not self-aware, you're gonna have this delusion or this idea that you can get something done when you don't have the elements to be able to help you get it done. You can change the elements. You have to make decisions about those elements or those things that are not going to help you get there. But they do require some massive changes sometimes, because me going back, I have built many personal brands over my years in the game of marketing. I have succeeded at this game. And yes, I have failed also. Generally, I have succeeded. I talk about this quite a bit in my book, Marketing Magic. Many stories that I've been able to work with, many people that I've been able to work with, many giants that I've been able to work with. I tell you the details about what they did to succeed at scale and how I was able to help them along that journey. So if you haven't gotten a copy of that book, you should. It's an Amazon bestseller. There will be a link down below in this particular video so you can go and check that out yourself, because it's going to be a great fundamental education that you can have in the subject of building your own personal brand if this is the journey that you would like to travel for yourself. So valuable. Number one. Number two, relevant. It has to be relevant to whatever you're trying to sell, your products that you're trying to sell, something that is connected. For example, we created a YouTube channel called Metabolismo TV. Metabolismo TV is an educational platform that my father spent years teaching people the subject of health by fixing one's metabolism. The world of natural slim products and supplements helps people solve metabolism problems. So you have to have relevant content that your brand and your product really connects with or helps people accomplish what they came to consume. You have to be consistent. If you are not willing to play this long term, this is not for you. This is not gonna happen overnight. If you're saying, I'm gonna try this out for 2 or 3 months, don't try it out. Here's the thing about doing content marketing. You have to go to everyone, because sometimes it's difficult for the social media platforms to help you find the correct people. And the way that you do this is you go shotgun. You go to everybody. You step back and you put your content out to everybody. And then if you do this consistently in a routine basis and you keep on doing it and you just close your eyes and you do it over and over and over again, you will eventually find the people that you can sell products and services to. So you go broad. You don't have to worry that much about targeting. The platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Pinterest, you name it. All these platforms will eventually help you find the right people if you just keep on doing it consistently. And what it does is one thing above all. It helps you build a relationship with your audience. When you're doing this and you're being valuable and you're being relevant and you're being consistent, you're doing this broadly to everybody, you are eventually building a relationship with your audience. That's the content marketing roadmap. What I'm doing right now with this marketing channel right here is building that roadmap with you. That at the time that you're in need of marketing help, You say, who should help me with my marketing? And because I delivered value, because I've been consistent, and because I was relevant, because the platforms found you, you come and you give me business. My business is built on this exact same model. And if you want to build a legacy, this is the path. Here's a high level view of doing this strategy. It requires patience. It's not for people that are desperate. Here's the thing about me, for example. I am very impatient. I like to win. I am a terrible loser, but I also understand that it's a long-term game. So I can put my head down and start creating this content, and I'm not gonna get 1 billion subscribers overnight. But I also understand that if I do this consistently, I will eventually win. Failure is something that is for the weak. The people that quit are people that don't really have the courage, the sheer determination to win in the game. The only thing different between a professional and a beginner is that the professional did not give up. Because you gotta remember that the professional at some point was also a beginner. So you gotta know this, it requires patience. Start this game of content marketing only if you feel that this is something that you can do for the rest of your life. I used to have my father, Frank Suarez, a legend, one of the most famous Latin American influencers on the planet. Passed away in 2021. An incredible speaker, an incredible communicator. I used to ask him, Dad, are you ever going to run out of content? And his answer was always, son, when you're passionate about a subject, that subject never runs dry. You will never run out of information to talk about. That's why it doesn't matter if it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It doesn't matter if I'm with family, with friends, or with coworkers. It doesn't matter who I'm with. I'm always willing to talk about the subject. It never runs dry. So if you feel this is a subject for you, if you feel this is something that you can talk about endlessly, then this game might be your game. But if it's not, you should pass on and go on to another game. Long-term and long-form. The content game, if you really want to play it for real, it's not only a game that requires patience and it's long-term. Like example, you might be watching this video in the year 2045, 19 years after I recorded it. Would you say that's long-term? Who knows? Maybe I'm not even around in body and you're watching this video and it's hopefully helping you a little bit to understand what this picture looks like and what this game looks like. It is long term. But the other thing that I wanted to mention here and highlight is long form. Yes, there's great ways for you to capture attention with short form content. Yeah, that's all great. But without the long form, you're not building a legacy long term. You gotta remember that these platforms, they're flimsy. The content disappears. It's not really searchable. But when you go to YouTube, how to find my audience on Facebook, there's gonna be videos that show up endlessly for years and years to come. So you wanna make long form content that helps you get discovered for generations to come. Potentially keep on helping you build your business and your successors, helping you build that generational success over the years and over the decades. Value driven, right? What do I mean by that? You have to have an intention to help above making money. I am more interested in you using what I'm teaching to succeed than in you paying us for my services. Definitely more interested. And that has to be sincere. It has to be delivered in a way that you believe it. This is something that I'm doing consistently. I'm taking time out of my busy day, having 250 employees between several of my companies, to deliver this message to you because I really want to deliver value to you. Sincerely want to see you succeed in the game. And I know that if I do this consistently, and if I do this without expecting anything in return, you will eventually give me business. At least some of you will. So when you're doing this content game, it's important that you have all these elements in place. And above all, that you are sincere about it. I'm giving you this because I want to give you value, not because I want to get anything from you. That has to be sincere. It is a mindset point that if you're doing this because you want to get money from people, you will eventually be recognized as such. And people are going to notice that all you want is to do content so you can get attention, so you can generate business. Most of these people out there, like my father was a great example, people never saw him as a salesman. They only saw him as a missionary, as somebody dedicated to helping others. That's the way that he had this public perception in place. And then legacy building. Look at my father. 4 years ago, he left this planet. There was no more creation of content. But you know what? He's more present than ever today in 2024. 37 million followers and spreading the message every single day. By definition, a legacy is something left behind for a future generation. And that content is also helping us generate a lot of inbound marketing. But imagine the difference between these two things, right? You build a legacy, you create generational content, and then your body at some point is going to fail, because that's the one thing that we all can agree on. And that content keeps on building a brand for you for generations to come. And it's retargeting revenue. What does that mean by that? This is a high level view. So what do we got? Patient, it's not overnight. Long-term and long form, meaning you're gonna do this for a long time and you're gonna do it in long form videos like the one that you're seeing right now. Value driven, meaning that you gotta give value before asking for value. Sincerely delivered, people have to feel the authenticity on your part to help them. Legacy building, you're building something that goes beyond your body. Whatever videos you make right now, this video, episode 24, is going to be seen for hopefully generations to come. It's gonna live on the internet forever, hopefully for hundreds of years, because it is a basic understanding of this particular marketing rule, content marketing or direct response marketing. And retargeting revenue, right? What does that mean? That our revenue, for example, when you look at our supplement company, we are built on retargeting, meaning that we produce content at scale, 3,000 publications a month. And based on the people that interact with that content, we offer them products only to the ones that have seen the content before. So we're building the interest and we are warming them up. So a content marketing game plan is built like this, that ends with producing revenue with the people that are consuming the content. I call this building a bucket of people. When you put them through this journey, you are building a bucket of potential buyers of your products and services. And that's the beautiful thing about it. We call that inbound sales. Why do we call it inbound sales? Because people are gonna be reaching out to you consistently because they are being exposed to your world of value, all this value over here. So now, what's an outbound sales process? You're going out there and you're looking for sales. You're trying to bring people in to buy products in a direct response way. And here's the basics of that. The focus is immediate response desired. You want a response right now. You've never seen me before? It doesn't matter. You need to buy my stuff right now. ROI focus, return on investment focus. What does that mean? I need to invest $1 and I need to hopefully get enough money to justify this investment of $1. That could be maybe $1, or that could be maybe $3 or $4 back. I need to be able to get a return on my investment to justify this particular strategy. It's very important because at some point, if this doesn't work out, you run out of the most important element on a business, which is cash. It's revenue. That is your oxygen. So if you're not able to produce a good return on investment, your business will eventually close its doors. So it is ROI focus. It's not long term, it is right now term. Hyper targeted. If you're going to do, for example, something that you expect them to actually buy from you right now, then you better be very highly targeted. If you're not highly targeted, people will not buy your product. Remember, 8 billion people on the planet. Over half of them have the internet. Most of those people are not interested in your product or your service. So you gotta know how to find these people. And that's part of the advantages that we have today, that we have targeting capabilities that we can use to our advantage. I'll give you one quick example. If you're selling a high ticket item, let's say an item that's worth $150 or $1,000. Something like Facebook has the ability to target zip code demographics that are the top earners on the country. So you can go in there and say, hey, just put this ad in front of the top 10% income earners in the United States of America. And that's something that takes you a minute to do, and you can do it for the Meta platform. So you see, these targeting capabilities would allow you to potentially hyper-target and get better results on your ad spend. You don't have to worry about that much because on content marketing, you're going broad. You're going out there into the world and you're committing into as many as possible so you can try to get a few of them to actually buy your products and services. So what are we looking for here for direct response? Immediate response, ROI focus, hyper-targeted, so you can try to get that return on investment, instant gratification. You need the revenue right now. High-level view of direct response, attention-grabbing scripts. It's very important that you create content that is attention-grabbing, because the more attention-grabbing, the more it will impact and penetrate and go viral and take off and have people interact with your ad and help you come up with a great return on investment. Content makes or break you. The content is going to determine whether you can succeed or not in this particular era. You have to invest a lot of money on content. It's not about quantity of content, like in the content marketing game. It's about quality of that content, especially that direct response content that is looking to get a purchase. Affiliate marketing is great. There's great brands that are focused on this. For example, there's a great brand that I work with, one of my clients and good friends, 10X Health. They are built on affiliate marketing. They're built on other people talking about their brands, and they can get to share a cut of that revenue. Advertising dependent. The direct response route is dependent on advertising. You cannot build a brand with direct response marketing without an advertising budget. That's going to be required. So for example, on this one over here on content marketing, you can put $0 and play the long game and just do it. You can just go out there and put content out there. And if you keep on doing it consistently, one day you might hit the jackpot. One day you might start catching fire, like we did for NaturalSlim, for my father, like we've done for other people, Dr. Bergs, and so on. Eventually, content starts taking off. But when you're doing the direct response route, advertising dependent. You cannot win without an advertising budget. And I can tell you sometimes it has to be a very aggressive budget. Faceless brands. The ones that don't create content, you're going to be very dependent on direct response. Data science driven. The advertising campaigns that worked, you scale. The ones that don't work, you turn off and you protect your oxygen, your cash. Because without it, you're in a lot of trouble. That is outbound in the outbound sales world. One example of that, many brands have succeeded doing this. There's a brand called Squatty Potty. They did actually one viral video. One. They did other things along the way, but what made them giants was one viral video.
This is where your ice cream comes from. The creamy poop of a mystic unicorn. Totally clean, totally cool, and soft served straight from a sphincter. They're good at pooping. But you know who sucks at pooping? You do. That's because when you sit on a porcelain throne, this muscle puts a kink in the hose and stops the Ben and Jerry's from sliding out smoothly. Is that a problem? I don't know, are hemorrhoids a problem? Because sitting at this angle can cause hemorrhoids, bloating, constipation, and a buttload of other crap. And seriously, unicorn hemorrhoids? The glitter gets everywhere. But what happens when you go from a sit to a squat? Voila, this muscle relaxes and that kink goes away faster than Pegasus laying sweet sherbet dookie. Now your colon's open and ready for battle. That's because our bodies were made to poop in a squat, and now there's a product that lets you squat in your own home. Introducing the Squatty Potty. No, Squatty Potty is not a joke.
That video cost them somewhere around $250,000 to produce it. So imagine that. Do you have $250,000 sitting on your pocket or in your bank account right now? Most of you don't have that. I know that because it took me a while until I was able to have that money in a bank account ready to invest. Still today, investing that money in one particular video, think about it. It's not that easy, right? But that video produced $15 million in sales. One video produced $15 million in sales. So was it worth it? Well, what do you think? $15 million, 1-41 return on investment. Insane. They hit the jackpot. It doesn't happen like that all the time. There's many brands that have succeeded doing something similar. The Dollar Shave Club, Organifi, the list goes on and on. They have produced some very high quality content that has helped them produce massive returns on investment. ClickFunnels, even a software company like ClickFunnels, ran by Russell Brunson, has invested a lot of money on some ads. And they produce some really high quality content. So you just gotta know that when you do this direct response path, you have a lot of potential if you invest heavily on that script, on that content, and on that team. So which one is the one that fits in for you? I can tell you the path to NaturalSlim right now, it's not an easy path. What we did over here, the NaturalSlim brand, it's a big responsibility. It was a lot of work. 2,700 long-form videos that average 10 to 12 minutes each. We got 37 million followers right now. I post about 3,000 times a month of content on social media every single month within the world of Frank Suarez, Metabolismo TV, which is our educational platform, and NaturalSlim. We post about 3,000 times a month. And then we do monthly webinars, you name it. This is the world of content marketing. It's not an easy world. You gotta have passion. You gotta believe in your message. You gotta believe in the long term. If you have all those things, then the content marketing game is for you. I love the idea of maybe you being my great-grandson, looking at his great-granddad to see how he's built the success that the family has now. How cool is that? Maybe you're watching this video in the year 3000 and you're like, oh wow, let's check out my great-great-great-grandpa. Look at a video on YouTube. Isn't that a cool idea of like having your digital flags planted on this internet world for generations down the line to keep on being exposed to your content and your education? What do you think? Would you enjoy having seen your grandparents build their business and did what they did? I would have loved to see my grandpa and how he ran his meeting, how he ran his business, strategies that he had, phone calls that he had. I would love to see that. I can't see that. They didn't have that technology. Well, you can now. We all can, right? So why not leverage that? I refuse to take it for granted. You want to go down this path and do something for you that is generational? Just know what it takes and don't be disappointed along the way. Maybe you want to grow faster. Maybe you're like me. Hashtag never satisfied. I'm telling you quite literally, I have a complete inability to be fully satisfied. I am very, very unsatisfied consistently. And because of that, I keep on pushing and I'm never happy. And I celebrate for a few minutes and then back to work, back to the next level. How do we keep on going? Especially because I keep on getting exposed to the world and then I realize how much more I actually can accomplish, how much more there is out there for me to conquer. And then I get back to work and I keep on pushing. So if you want to go for this route, know what it takes is very rewarding. It really is. It's a lot of work, but it feels great to be able to impact people at scale and to do this at the level that we're doing it right now. Or you want to go down this route, that's fine too. But you got to choose one of the paths, one or the other. Either you're going to be a killer content creator or you're going to be a killer advertising campaign creator. Which one do you want to be? Choose your path and hopefully you can win at a high level in whatever path you choose. Maybe you can blend them both a little bit, but in the end, they're two distinct paths. The ones that actually win at the content game can actually be quite mediocre in the advertising game and still get away with it and build a great business long term. The ones that actually win at the advertising game don't always win at the content game, but once they win on that game, meaning that they know how to produce funnels that get great return on investment, great ads and so on, then they'll do something great. But here's what happens. When the marketing stops, when you turn off those ads, when Facebook shuts you down because they didn't like you, when Amazon bans your listings, when TikTok shuts you down because, I don't know, the Chinese took over the platform completely and now they don't want Americans to use it, then you're in trouble because you depended on it. But when you create your own content and you become a content king and you become a unicorn in the content game, like I talk about in the book Marketing Magic, nobody can stop you. No platform can stop you. You'll be able to generate business no matter who shuts you down because you control the audience. They go to you. They don't try to buy anybody else's products. In whatever niche that you dominated, in whatever vertical you became a content king, they want you and nobody else but you. In the other one, in the advertising game, the ROI game, they don't care who they buy it from. Next man up. They're gonna buy what it is you're selling, and they're not even gonna feel the difference. So choose your path. As you can see, I'm a little biased, right? I love the subject of legacy. I love the something of creating something that goes beyond generations. Let me know what you chose. Let me know what your questions are. Thank you for tuning in. As you know, marketing never sleeps. I will see you on the next episode of the Manuel Suarez Marketing channel.